r/ask Reddit. What are you in the 1% of? I have heterochromia. I mean only 1.2% of Americans have epilepsy, and when you add in those that also have Tourette's, I bet it's closer to 1%. But what would I know? I'm just a tick-riddled epileptic. Actually, instead of growing normally my ribs grew inward, causing a sort of bowl-like shape to my chest. Edit. I didn't expect this to blow up, so I'll be a bit more specific since so many questions are coming in. No, I didn't have the NUS procedure since mine isn't severe enough to affect my heart or lungs. I know 3 people that have it and it is typically more common in males, but one of people I know that has it is a girl. My dad has it as well, although his is barely noticeable since he has more developed pecs. I can have ate cereal out of it on occasion, but usually just to show people that I can, since it ends up being pretty messy. I have a B blood type which only accounts for about 1% of the population. I am an identical twin. I'm left-handed, and I have green eyes. I passed through the fire and flames on Guitar Hero 3 on Expert. I have 2 urethras. Edit. Yes, I am a male. Do you P2 streams? Bottom 1% height for my age, let's go. I'm 24 and 4 feet 11. Edit. I am a girl and 110 pounds. Richest people in the world. Now in my country? No. But in the world as a whole? Yes. I have a freckle on the back of my eyeball. They have to give me regular checkups on whether it has become cancerous or not. I'm curious how they would have found that in the first place. Women who are very tall. I'm 6 feet 4 inches. We look up to you. I'm one of fewer than 1% of all players on Steam have the puzzler achievement in Batman Arkham City Gotti. My body is trying its best to kill me. Familial hypercholesterolemia, ADD pie, prolactinoma on my pituitary gland, diagnosed at very early stage breast cancer 36 yo, mastectomy, came back in bones and lungs at 45 yo. What are the chances? My IQ. Not many people can reach such a supreme level of dumbness. Penis size. But not the 1% you would brag about. You're in at least the 51st percentile if you have one at all. Bro, you're above average. A live kidney donor for my sister. My proudest achievement TBH. Wow, thanks kind strangers for the awards. I was born with a neuromuscular disease called paroxysmal dyskinesis choreotosis. It sends false electrical signals from my brain to my muscles. Less than 1% of the world's population has a form of it and it's non-life threatening, so there is next to zero research on it. I usually have headphones in so I can make it look like I'm dancing so I can play it off. Smart move with the headphone strategy. I ran a 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 49 seconds marathon. That puts me in the 1% of all humans. I got Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Whatever you do not Google Stevens-Johnson syndrome. I had to spend a week in a specialized burn unit out of state. I was told I might go blind, be unable to give birth, lose my hair and fingernails, go into multiple organ failure, and heck, I might even die. The plan was just pump me full of steroids, slather me in cream, wait and see. I had no skin left on or inside my mouth, including my tongue. Just endless sloughing off of skin flesh along with scabs and clots of blood. Even with tons of mouth numbing shit, I couldn't even swallow a milkshake without feeling like my mouth was full of broken glass shards. Eating was excruciating. I basically lived on Ensure, and it took forever to heal. Every day I'd wake up with my lips fused together. The first time I could eat again I cried, even though it was just Domino's. I also had irritated eyes, a blotchy blistering rash all over my body. My a-hole and vagina were constantly in obscene pain and I had to put dilators inside to keep my birth canal from fusing together. Oh, and all the skin on the bottom of my feet peeled off in large ribbons repeatedly for months after. I came out of it with no lasting damage. Apart from my psyche, staring death in the face was cool. I was doing really well with that part actually, up until something unrelated to my illness but quite traumatic occurred while I was being treated in the hospital. So that sucked. And then plenty more horrific things ensued that kind of made this whole experience seem like such a tiny blip on the radar. Ah well. I'm at peace with it all now, but still, it's kind of neat how rare it is. My doctor told me he had been treating people for 30 years and in all that time he only saw 3 other cases of SJS, 2 of which died. There is a 1 in 20,000 chance of getting it if you take certain medications. Edit. Just wanted to add. Once my taste buds finally grew back, I started tasting food differently. I now enjoy the flavors of spicy and fatty things much more, and other flavors I used to like can taste kind of weirdly musty or soapy. I don't know the exact numbers, but I only got 1 testicle. I think 1% of Redditors are over 65. Yay. Really? 66. And I didn't even think it could be special. I can hold my breath for over 2 minutes and swim 2 consecutive laps underwater. There's loads of people that'll be better at it, but 1% isn't all that hard once you're kind of good in a sport. I've had a congenital glaucoma. Very rare since it is congenital. Edit. In first place, this is my most upvoted comment ever and thank you for that. But, since many people asked, I'll quickly explain what a congenital glaucoma is. So, to those who want to know a little more about it, a congenital glaucoma is a mutation that affects one of the eyes or both. It causes an accumulation of a liquid that we have in order to keep it wet, since the hole where it flows isn't opened or is really tiny, resulting in a bigger ocular tension. This ocular tension can cause vision loss or blindness. For that reason, I was submitted to a surgery right after that being discovered, when I was 6 months old, in the country where I born. Only 2 babies, me included, had this malformation that were born in the same year as me. I've never met someone with it, only a few Redditors today, making it a little special and rare. Everything is okay and I wish the best to everybody reading this, especially the ones who have this amazing detail. Thank you. Edit 2. If you look closely, you can also notice that I've one pupil bigger than the other. Got cancer in my 20s, or YISSS. I have several types of synesthesia, colors constantly in my head and in my vision at times. Memories or feelings can trigger smells for me. For example, if I feel very comfortable with someone, that makes my head filled with the color green and I can smell cinnamon. 1% of cats have asthma, including mine, so I guess less than 1% of people have a cat with asthma. I'm 6'4". If you're 6'4" or taller, you're in the world's top 1% tall. Damn it, I am 6'3". Edit. 8idky the F this blew up, but I ain't complaining. People whose favorite Tom Hanks Meg Ryan film is Joe vs. the Volcano. There are dozens of us. Dozens. I gotta take a dump 3-4 times a day. Wow, I'm the opposite. I poop like twice a week. You are full of shit. Severe pollen allergy. Face will swell up within minutes of stepping outside if I haven't taken an allergy med that day. My battery life. Right now. I'm a widower and I've had a child pass away. You can be the 1% of anything, if specific enough. 3% of people are sensitive to sulfur, but only 3% of the 3% are truly allergic. I fall in the 3% of people that are truly allergic. Some people haven't read the other comments of me correcting everything. I admitted that it was indeed sulfur because I finally looked up everything for myself. My parents had always told me that I was allergic to sulfur and I didn't think to question it until now. I'm in the 1% of Redditors to have answered this question. Getting 39 gallstones at the age of 25. From my 17th year on, I sometimes had inexplicable pain radiating from my side to my back, so heavy that I couldn't breathe or sleep. Every doctor had different ideas, but nothing really helped. Years later, when I was 25, a nice friend said to me, "The next time you are in pain because of this, we will drive to the military hospital. In my city it is possible for civilians to go there too." So there was a very young doctor who took his time to ultrasound all my organs. Then he found these amount of gallstones. He was surprised, because in my age normally you don't get them. After a surgery with gallstones and bladder removal, I finally felt better. I'm very thankful that there was a doctor who was motivated enough to try everything to find the problem. Edit. Typo. It's actually 2%, but having green eyes. The 1% of people who will survive No Nut November. I've been to all 50 states. I'm a 13-year female and I'm 6 feet tall. Men's size 13 Nikes. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking mad lad. I'll cuss you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.